All right, y'all. Welcome back to the bottom line. So tomorrow we kicking off NFL Sunday Week 1. And I'm gonna go through each one of the games and pick who I believe is gonna be the winner. So the first game we got up is Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. And they got Tampa Bay as 1.5 favorites. So they got Tampa winning by 1.5 if you're a betting person. But for this game, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Atlanta. I think Atlanta's gonna take the first game at home. Since Atlanta's at home, I do feel like I think Tampa. I did pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the division. But in this first game, Week 1, the fact that Atlanta's at home, I'm gonna take Atlanta. Shit, I'm gonna take the points too because I think they'll win by more than 1.5. I think they'll win by a touchdown or 3 points or whatever. But yeah, I think Atlanta's gonna pull out that first game. Just the fact that they're at home and that it's Week 1 division rival. I'm picking the upset there with the Falcons. Then we got Cincinnati and Cleveland. Let me tell you something. As long as Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback of whoever's team, I ain't putting my money on that shit. I don't give a damn if they're at home. I don't care if they play in Brazil, Europe, London. I don't give a fuck where they playing. As long as Joe Flacco is your starting quarterback, I will never put my money on that. And I know he probably win you a few games, but like once again, if I'm a betting man and I'm putting my money up, I ain't never betting on Joe Flacco. And they playing, like I said, I think the Bengals need to come out. We've all been hearing that stat 1-11 since Joe Burrow's been the quarterback. They're 1-11 in the first 2 weeks of the season, so I think they're gonna change that narrative. They got to. They gotta get off to a hot start, and there's no better start than you can have than the fucking Cleveland Browns. So I think I'm picking Cincy in that. They got a huge spread though. They got Cincy by 5. But shit, I'll take the points on that one too. I think they'll win by at least a touchdown. So yeah, I would take Cincinnati and to cover the spread on that. Then we got Miami and Indianapolis. Got the Dolphins on the road. Typically, I don't like picking the Dolphins on the road, even though I know, even though man, what's the fuck is that boy name? Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is starting for Indy tomorrow, and they got the spread at 1.5 for. They got Indianapolis as the favorite. But yeah, I would pick Indy. I think Indy's gonna win this game just because I don't like Miami on the road. Indianapolis usually, the Colts usually play good at home. And once again, neither one. I don't have neither one of these teams making the playoffs. I got them both at the bottom tier of the league, and just the fact that Indy's at home, I guess I go ahead and I would pick them to beat the Dolphins. Then you got the Raiders and the Patriots, and they got the Patriots at home, 2.5 point favorites for the Patriots, and the Patriots. These are two teams that I think both will be better this year. I think New England's going to do a lot better this year. They upgraded the coach. The quarterback, the second year Drake May, looks pretty good. They've upgraded the roster too. They got Stephon Diggs over there, big offseason signing. So, and the fact that they're at home, and the fact that the Raiders, like I said, now I had the Raiders having a better season, but the fact that they lost Amari Cooper to retirement and the boy Jacoby Myers, I don't even know if he's playing or not, but I know he had requested a trade, so I don't even know if he's gonna take the field. So the Raiders unfortunately took that early season. I mean, that hit right before they started the season, and both wide receivers, your number one and number two, and I think that's going to affect them. That's a blow to them. So, and the fact that New England is at home, I would take them to cover the spread to a 2.5. So yeah, for that game, I'm gonna go with New England. Then you got the Cardinals and the Saints. So they got the Cardinals as a 6.5 point favorite here. Man, they got damn New Orleans at home. Now I know a lot of people are picking New Orleans to be if one of the top three worst teams in the league this year because they got that rookie Spencer Rattler starting at quarterback, but we don't even know what he looks like, man. It's crazy for them to say that New Orleans is going to be the worst team in the league just because they're starting a rookie quarterback and just because but we don't know. That's the thing about it. I mean, I know probably based on analysis and numbers, you're saying that the kid is not going to have a good season, but we don't know, man. That kid could come out and shock everybody, and the Saints are at home. So for them to be a 6.5 point dog at home to the Cardinals, who I feel are not making, two teams again that I don't feel are going to make the playoffs, I'm surprised at the spread. I'm picking the upset here. I think New Orleans is going to win this game. So I would definitely, what's that? If it was me, I'm picking New Orleans to win the game. But like I said, I'm surprised at the spread. It's a 6.5 point spread in Arizona's favor. But I'm going with New Orleans in that one. So I'm picking the upset there. Then you got the Steelers and you got the Jets. Very interesting game. I actually got the Steelers in the postseason. They got the Steelers as a 2.5 point favorite. New York is at home. The Jets are at home. But once again, I think I picked Pittsburgh to be that 7th seed in the playoffs in the AFC. So they got to get this game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers needs a win. I think he needs a win to get off on the right track, get his confidence going, get the team believing in him. And you're playing your old team where they had high expectations for you, and you failed miserably over there in New York. And I think New York's going to be motivated, especially the fans are going to be motivated to go out there and prove a point that they made the right decision to get rid of you. So, but just overall, I think the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers need to get off on the right foot. I think this is one of those games, if you have playoff implications, this is one of them games you can't lose. Like I said, you got to win those ones. You got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And I think that the New York Jets is one of them teams that they definitely they need this win. But I do think they will. I think they'll do that, and I think they'll cover the 2.5 points. So I'm picking Pittsburgh in that one. Then we got the Giants and Washington. And the Commanders are at home, and they got Washington as a 6.5 point favorite. I don't blame them. Now I'm picking Washington to win the game, but the only reason I'm gonna pick Washington is because the Giants plan on starting Russell Wilson. If the Giants would have started the rookie Jackson Dart, I might have went ahead and picked the upset here. But the fact that they starting Russell Wilson to start the season, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Washington. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. If I was New York, I would. I mean, if it's looking bad and the game starts getting out of hand, or the offense can't get going, and they look discombobulated, and Russell Wilson is not looking good, I wouldn't hesitate to pull the trigger on him and put the rookie in there. That's what I would do, because, like I said, he showed too much skill, too much promise in the preseason to waste any time of getting him in there. So, like I said, if I was the coach and if I was New York, if I was that organization, I would, like I said, if it's looking bad early, I would think not even long. I wouldn't think long. I think real quick and throw Jackson Dart in there. But the fact that Russell Wilson is starting, I'm picking Washington to win that game and to cover the spread at 6.5. I'm picking Washington to cover that spread. Then we got the Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars. Like I said, as some of you know, that Jacksonville Jaguars, that's my squad. But like I said, I'm gonna be honest, even in with the picks, they got us as a 3.5 point favorite, but we supposed to win this game. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence, we got Travis Hunter out there, and I saw the thing earlier. I saw an article earlier. They said that we actually already have the set amount of plays that he's going to be playing at receiver, and that he'll be playing spot. They've already basically made a schedule of how many plays that he's going to play on offense and defense. So we're going to use him sparingly in certain situations on defense, and then they already have the set amount of plays that he's going to run on offense. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. They better use him a lot. Shit, we got to get off to a good start. Jacksonville needs this. Trevor needs this. Once again, we got to beat, and we at home. We got to beat the teams that we got to beat, whether it's at home or on the road. But the fact that we at home is a game we need to pull off. But I think that we will. So yeah, I'm picking Jacksonville to win that game too, and to cover the spread at 3.5. Then you got the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. Damn, they got the Broncos at 8.5 points. Yeah, just damn, they got the spread at 8.5. God, dog, that's a high number. That means they ain't got no faith in the Titans at all. Now Denver's at home, so maybe that's the reason. Because I know once again they got a lot of people are very high on the Denver Broncos. A lot of people picking them to win a division, got them at a high seed in the playoffs, saying that they're gonna be they're a definite lock for the playoff for a playoff team. So I guess based on the odds and based on Vegas and what people really think about the Broncos, 8.5 at home against Tennessee is not a crazy number to think about. But that, I mean, that spread is huge. Come on, Tennessee, pull through, man, and shock it for me. You know what? I'm picking the upset here, man. I'm going with my dog Cam Ward. I'm rocking with him. I'm picking the upset. I'm picking the upset. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans to beat the Denver Broncos in this first game, especially since the spread is so high. I mean, they just straight see, it's disrespect to the Titans, but it also shows how high they really are. That Vegas is and a lot, and the NFL and everybody is on Denver. This is what I'm talking about. This is how high these people are on Denver, man. I am not. I do not have them making the playoffs, and the fact that they got the spread so high, I'm picking the upset. I'm picking the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward to pull off the upset in this one on the road. Then you got San Francisco and Seattle. They got Seattle is the home team. The Seahawks are at home. And look, already disrespecting the Seahawks and high on the 49ers. They got the 49ers as a 1.5 point favorite here. But once again, when I did my preseason division picks, I put San Francisco third and Seattle second in the division in the NFC West. One of the reasons was because of the injury, because San Francisco is very injury prone and right on schedule. What did we see yesterday? Nobody reported it, but they ain't had no choice but to come out and say, now Christian McCaffrey is already questionable now for tomorrow's game. So if he's questionable, even if he does play, that means he's got a very high probability of getting hurt, or they're gonna limit how many times he plays, limit his running and all of that. And I figured that was going to happen. That boy is just very injury prone. That team, man, like injury, they are just injury plagued, the San Francisco 49ers. They can never make it through an entire season healthy. I mean, nobody really does, but I mean, they always have injuries that keep their best players out for, a significant amount of time. And like I said, we ain't even started the season yet, and already Christian McCaffrey got some kind of calf injury or something. He's already questionable for tomorrow's game, and that's what I just don't trust the health. And not only did they lose talent, I just don't trust the health of the San Francisco 49ers, and that's why I got them third and not making the playoffs in Seattle. Coming in second behind the Rams in that division, and Seattle making the playoffs and San Francisco not. And so even with that, I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. They at home. Christian McCaffrey is questionable, which means he's not 100%. So Brandon Ayuk already not playing, key weapon. So like I said, I'm going with Seattle to win this game. Then the next game, one of the better games, the Detroit at Green Bay. So the Lions play the Packers. That'll be one of the better games of the of the weekend. Like I said, I got the Packers. Yeah, I picked the Packers to win the division and Detroit to come in second. So, and the Packers are at home and they're a 1.5 point favorite. I would take the points on that for Green Bay. I do think just the fact that the Packers are at home, I think they'll win. So I'm gonna go, and like I said, they coming out with the story. Micah, I think, is gonna come out. If he's supposed to play. I believe he is playing, and if he does, I think he's coming out to prove a point, especially in the first game. You got to. I mean, that's the whole point of it. You got to come out and make an early. The Packers themselves need to make an early statement against a division rival, somebody that I feel like at the end of the season is going to be fighting them for the number one division spot. So I think Green Bay is going to come out and like I said, try to put it on Detroit and go ahead and make a statement in that first game. So I'm picking Green Bay to win that game. And we got another good game, Texans at the Rams. Now they got the Rams and the Rams are playing at home, and they got them as a 3.5 point favorite over the Texans. Yeah, very interesting game. Good game to start. I'm gonna go technically with what they call it. I'm gonna go with the upset in this one too. I think the Texans, C.J. Stroud, gonna come out. And like I said, with the Rams, it's always funny. They one of the few teams, just like the Chargers, that never really have home field advantage because they play in LA, and LA is so diverse, and they got so many people out there. So many people that live in LA are not from LA. They got fans from all over the country, all over the world that are there. So a lot of times the visiting team has a lot of fans, for that team in their in their stands or whatever. So like I said, I can never say the Rams are technically at home because they never really home. They got a lot of fans in LA, but not like how the other teams are diehard for for their team. They don't really have that. So it's never you know really technically it don't make sense to say that LA is at home, but technically it's a home game for them. But like I said, at 3.5, and they playing the Texans. Nah, I'm going with the upset here. So I got the Texans. I'm picking the Texans to win that one. And Baltimore at Buffalo. So Buffalo Bills. That's the night game. That I'm hoping that should be the best game of the weekend. Baltimore and Buffalo. Two teams that we know are going to be at the top of the AFC at the end of the season, barring injury. Two teams that'll probably meet again in the postseason, more than likely. In the divisional round, or or if not the conference championship round, and we get that game one right out of the gate. So we all know Buffalo knocked Baltimore and Lamar Jackson out of the playoffs last year in the divisional round. So and they got them playing right off of the bat in week one. So that'll be the Sunday night game. They got Baltimore on the road as a 1.5 point favorite, and I'm taking that spread. I'm taking Baltimore. I think Baltimore has too much to prove. Lamar Jackson got to come out and get right on track, man. Don't start slow like you did last year, 0-2, and then have to dig yourself out of the hole. You don't want to start like that this year. Come out, make a statement against the team in a building that knocked you out of the playoffs last year. And I think that he will do that. I think he's ready. So I'm picking Baltimore and to cover the spread at 1.5 there. And then the Monday night game, we got Minnesota and Chicago. Once again, division rivalry. Two teams. I got what did I have? I got Chicago at the bottom and Minnesota finishing third in that division. In the division, but I got Minnesota making the playoffs. So once again, Chicago is the home team, but unproven. Ben Johnson, I know he's there, but Caleb Williams still got a lot to prove, man. He got to show us that he's been working in the offseason, that him and Ben Johnson and that little marriage is going to work between them. They've been having a real tumultuous offseason and preseason so far. They've been going back and forth. I know that they're trying to get on the same page and get everything together, but we've seen it on camera and it's public record that they've been having issues. And I know it's just motivation between them, but having public outbursts at each other, and Ben Johnson's really been having to get on Caleb more than what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really necessarily want to see that, even though we understand it. It's like if you got promised to do something and it's supposed to be making a statement this year, it's supposed to be, supposed to be a lot better. He's supposed to be helping you out. I mean, we've seen some stuff in the offseason, preseason we really didn't want to see. So, and like I said, J.J. McCarthy though is unproven too. So this is first year starting, but at the end of the day, I think Minnesota's the better team. They got Minnesota on the road as a 1.5 point favorite, and I would take the points there. I would take Minnesota to beat Chicago. So yeah, I'm picking Minnesota to win that game, even though Chicago is at home. So yeah, those are my picks this week. We'll see how it goes, man. We just all excited that football is back now. Sundays we got something to do every Sunday. And like I said, a lot of the teams are good, man. I think this is going to be one of the better seasons that we've had. There's a lot of talent in the league. A lot of the teams are good. A lot of teams been getting a lot better, man. So we're looking forward to it. But those are my picks for the week, and we'll see how it go.